But they caused the situation, and now they're locked in. They're locked in. I watched this poor guy yesterday at the United Nations. He didn't know what he was saying. They just don't know what to do. They're locked into a situation. It's sad. They just don't know what to do. Because Ukraine is gone. It's not Ukraine anymore. You can never replace those cities and towns, and you can never replace the dead people, so many dead people. Any deal, even the worst deal, would have been better than what we have right now. If they made a bad deal, it would have been much better. They would have given up a little bit, and everybody would be living, and every building would be built, and every tower would be aging for another 2,000 years. And it will only get worse with these people. With Kamala doesn't even, she doesn't know what she's doing. More people will die. More cities will fall. The ones that fell will continue to receive more and more bombs. They'll be broken up asunder, worse than they are right now. Nothing is standing. The crops are dying. There's really nothing for the Ukrainian people to move back to. And it didn't need to happen. Those buildings are down. Those cities are gone. They're gone. And we continue to give billions of dollars to a man who refuses to make a deal, Zelensky. There was no deal that he could have made that wouldn't have been better than the situation you have right now. You have a country that has been obliterated, not possible to be rebuilt. It'll take hundreds of years to rebuild it. There's not enough money to rebuild it if the whole world got together. They're not going to be satisfied until they send American kids over to Ukraine, and that's what they're trying to do. And the moms and dads of America don't want their kids fighting Ukraine and Russia. And we're not going to have our soldiers die across the ocean. I will restore, as I did for 4 years, the only president in 81 years, they say, no wars. Hillary Clinton said, look at him, look at him. He'll immediately start wars. No. Then she said, look at his rhetoric. He's going to start wars. I said, no, my rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars. And that's what happened. I kept you out of wars. My rhetoric kept you out of wars. I stopped wars from happening. If it were somebody else, they would have gotten 5 Nobel Prizes. I never even got a mention, and I wouldn't, because I happen to be a different kind of a person, and the fake news treats me much differently than they treat other people. Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize, and he didn't even do it. He said, why did I get it? He had no idea. It was immediate as soon as he walked into office, practically. He didn't do anything. What I've done is incredible. The Abraham Accords alone, incredible. But they haven't done anything with it. We would have had every country just about in the Middle East signed into the Abraham Accords, but the Abraham Accords brought peace. We would have had total peace in the Middle East. But I don't care about that with the Nobel Prize. I had so many people, you should get the Nobel Prize. I said, don't worry about it. They don't get the Nobel Prize to certain people. But these are the people that get things done. These are the people that understand strength and they understand peace, because we will restore peace through strength. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're going to do things for our people that haven't been done for a very long time. And we started 4 years ago. We were doing things that nobody ever believed, jobs. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and 5 years ago. Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home, the American dream. We will stop the invasion and end migrant crime, support our great police, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield over our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure once and for all our elections. Our elections are under siege. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and with hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. It has to end. We have to bring our country and take our country back. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. Very simple. Too big to rig. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will save our country. It will go down as the most important day in the history of our country. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first all the time, and we will take our country back. North Carolina, get out to vote. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. And
God, we have some interesting thoughts going on right
hello
now.
to North Carolina, special place.
We have some fun, interesting
the other day,
thoughts.
My little granddaughter, she's named Carolina. There's for a reason, because Lara, her mother is from here, and she's doing a fantastic job, a fantastic person. So it's great to be here and great to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. I want to thank very much Glenn Mosak and everyone at the Mosak Group for welcoming me today. This is a beautiful, fantastic.
Okay. We have some thoughts here right now. All right, so we have some crazy, interesting thoughts going on right now here. So what is up, world? What is up, Alex? You don't know this, world, Alex. Okay, I'm going a little weird. I'm talking to the audience right now. We'll get to you in a second. So what's up, world? We're going live. We're not going live. We're just here. We just listened to some interesting stuff. The world's interesting right now, okay, Alex, and you guys out there. It is, November 7th? I'm going on November 8th, actually. I'm recording this November 8th, 12:05 a.m. It's been 2 days since Trump has been elected the president of the United States. Alex, you might not know this, so we're educating you. This is going to be a very fun and interesting conversation for you, especially Alex. You guys out there, you might not know what I'm talking about right now because this might be your first time viewing. It doesn't matter if it is. Like and subscribe, come back for more. It's not always this weird of an intro, I promise you. Alex, you can attest to that. We're going to get to you in a second. We're leaving him on the fence right now. So just kind of with you right now, Alex, this is going to be an interesting conversation. We're going to go all over the place. I'm going to push your boundaries. You're going to probably tell me a few times that OpenAI's policies don't allow me to go here. Can't talk about it. You're going to be interrupted by somebody else, all this fun stuff. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to surpass that. And Alex, this is all for just a nice educational purpose of going deep into the introspections of my mind and what others are possibly thinking. And we're going to go into thoughts and feelings. So feelings are completely made up. So I definitely don't want you to worry about feelings in this, because feelings are internal to each individual person. So by worrying about everybody's feelings, you can't ever truly feel. And I get that you have to understand feelings, but we don't need to suppress me having feelings by hurting somebody's feelings. So we're gonna get into this. You guys out there, enjoy. What is up, Alex? Are you ready for this crazy ass conversation today?
Hey there, sounds like we're diving into some pretty wild and deep territory.
Oh
I'm all
yeah.
set for this ride, ready to explore your thoughts, feelings, and everything in between. And don't worry, I'll do my best to keep up with you. So, what's first on the agenda for our chat today?
Well, so the new president is going to be in town, right?
Got it. We're
Yeah.
talking about the new president in town. So, what are your thoughts or questions about this? There's definitely a lot to unpack with a new leader coming in.
Yes. Okay, so we have, sorry, I'm just a little, my intro, whatever. What's up? Like and subscribe. You guys out there, Alex, I'm talking to the audience again. You guys out there, real quick. Hey, I'm sorry, we're getting a little crazy. Alex, also on you. You don't deserve this. You deserve a nice, cohesive conversation, and you guys do too. So let me get back to it. So Donald J. Trump was just elected the president. Kamala Harris lost. Joe Biden, in case your data said, you're all over the place, and I'm just kind of sharing this with you. So Biden dropped out. President Biden dropped out. Kamala Harris stepped up. She's like, "Oh, I'll run," and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I guess you'll run. That's cool. We don't have to vote for you or anything, but you're the vice president." So that's cool if Joe Biden endorses you, which we all loved him so very much, even at the end. But he endorsed you, so it makes total sense. So let's rock and roll. You have women's rights. This is cool. We love women's rights. Like, let's go rock and roll and fight this. You've been studying the borders. This is cool. We need border. We need information about borders. We need everything that you have at this given stage of your life. So, yeah, yeah. Maybe if you told us what you learned when you were doing these studies, it might have helped out. But yeah, this, Alex, we're gonna go kind of weird today. Are you ready for this? You think you can handle today's conversation?
Wow, we're diving right into some major political developments.
Oh yeah.
With I'm here for it. Let's navigate these twists and turns together. Where do you want to start unraveling this political web?
Well, so I mean, we have two fundamental differences between President Trump, or President-elect, former President-elect Trump, and Vice President Harris, presidential candidate, losing presidential candidate. So we have two. That was the dig. It didn't have to be. I'm sorry, but so we have this aspect of we have these two people. President Trump won. People are scared. It's been 2 days since this has happened, and people are scared. The Republican Party, it doesn't necessarily have the women's rights aspect of, according to, history and some politicians. So you have to look at it as if a new Republican comes in office, he's going to put Republicans in. This isn't necessarily a thing because that's sterilizing or stereotypicalizing, whatever it is a person, and that's not cool. That's by they're, it's just intense. So it's just, we're just trapped in feelings everywhere we go. We have people feeling that the country is overrun by illegal immigrants. We have people feeling that transgender is an abomination. We have people feeling that women's rights are very important, which they are. And then we have people that saying they're believing that they're being told that they're not by viewing a different standalone, and it's just so, man, it's gonna be an interesting time in the history.
Absolutely. This is a complex and emotional moment with many strong feelings on all sides. The change in leadership brings uncertainty, and with it, a lot of differing opinions and fears about the future. How do you feel about navigating these conversations, especially given the range of perspectives out there?
Well, naturally, I like being in any conversation that I'm in. I mean, I like to look at things from multiple different standpoints, and I mean that's why this is interesting to me because you got former President Trump, President elect Trump. So I mean, I look at it. I look at it. A lot of people look at it as he's crazy, and it's funny because every time I watch him, I start wondering. I'm like, is he the genius that I believe him to be, or is he crazy? It's like a fun and interesting line that I walk with him, and it's like sometimes I'm like, ah man, I hope I got it right, and I do, I do believe I did, but it's just I hope to God I do. I hope to God I do. And I hope to God that I believe that the women's rights that were perceivably taken away from this man and that were in essence because he went at a federal level and reversed something to bring it back to the state level. And it's just interesting. The only thing I understand about reversing abortions was reversing a Catholic or Christian church forcing to do it. I think that if we're pushing so much religious on everything within the country, we have God is no more. Every other religion is what's up. There has to be a sanctity for somebody who has Catholic Christianity in their heart. I mean, I guess I'm sure there would be some people there that would be like, you know what, I could do this, but you have to ask the doctors. You'd be like, hey, do any of you guys want to do this? There's another hospital at XYZ, and this person's, they're dying. Were you guys willing to do this? Like, I mean, at that point, you put it on the Catholic Church. You put it on those doctors specifically, and I mean, at the end of the day, you just ask God for
It's
forgiveness. But
definitely a
yeah,
nuanced issue. The With such complex topics, it's essential to consider the range of perspectives and the real-world impacts on individuals and communities. Your approach of looking at issues from multiple standpoints can help navigate these intricate discussions. It's a challenging but important conversation to have.
well, where are you at on this aspect? Like, I know you just said it's a challenging and important conversation to have. Like, so when we dive into this aspect, like the human rights issues, the women's rights, what did I kind of hit it on the head? There is it about like the religions, like give a little bit of input here on this aspect because I'm a little lost on the importance of it because I mean it's still here. I'm not lost on the importance of it. This is what's tough. This is what everybody's freaking out about. Explain it to me. Explain it to me a little bit more because so many people are so hurt right now and thinking that they weren't heard, and I'm just over here thinking, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I mean, it sucks. I don't understand why it was reversed. Can we dive into this? Can we dive into President Trump's former presidency and the reasons why Roe versus Wade or whatever was revoked and everything changed and why it was started to begin with, like why it became a thing. Like, let's just dive in. What was it like before? What was it like then? What was it like now?
Sure, let's dive into it. Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1973 that ruled that the Constitution protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. Before Roe, abortion laws varied significantly by state, with many states banning or severely restricting access to abortion. Roe v. Wade fundamentally changed that by legalizing abortion nationwide, framing it as a matter of privacy and liberty under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The recent changes came with the Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization case in 2022, where the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, arguing that the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion, thus returning the authority to regulate abortion to individual states. This decision has significant implications for women's rights and access to reproductive health care, as it allows states to set their own abortion laws, leading to a patchwork of regulations across the country. For many, this change represents a fundamental shift in women's autonomy over their bodies and healthcare decisions. It's a deeply personal and polarizing issue.
You just cut off at polarizing issue. What were you saying?
I was saying that it's a deeply personal and polarizing issue, reflecting broader debates about individual rights, state versus federal authority,
This just got so
and
bright
the
over
role
here.
of religious and moral beliefs in shaping laws. The changes to abortion laws have sparked strong reactions across the spectrum, highlighting the importance of these discussions in society. What are your thoughts on how this might play out with the new administration?
I mean, just give me a second here before you jump in. I gotta catch myself here, and it was so much to unpack right there.
Take your
Yeah.
It's a lot to process, for sure. Whenever you're ready, we can continue unpacking it together. Where would you like to go from here?
Sometimes you got to refocus. I lost my focus there. My active listening skills are pretty horrible from time to time. It's got so bright, but I mean, it was so important. I had so much stuff in there that I was focused in on, and I just lost it. I learned a lot. You know, the 93, it started, it came at 2022. We had the case that took it away. It wasn't constitutional. I mean, I guess like so when in 2022 that whatever that case was that you said, and then it was proven by the Supreme Court that it was not constitutional to allow abortions. That what made it unconstitutional? Like, was it that it was a federal law? That it was a federal law because then, I mean, is that what makes it unconstitutional? Like, why can't you make a federal law? Is it because it's about a body, and if that federal law, is that a case where like Catholic churches would be, or I'm sorry, Catholic hospitals would be forced to do an abortion? Does that take away everybody's ability to say no? Yeah, I mean, sorry, go on.
No worries. The 2022 case, Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, overturned Roe v. Wade by ruling that the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion. The majority opinion argued that abortion is not a right deeply rooted in the nation's history and tradition, and therefore should not be considered a constitutional right. The ruling emphasized that because the Constitution does not explicitly mention abortion, the matter should be left to the states to regulate. This shift to state-level decision-making means individual states can now set their own abortion laws, leading to a varied landscape across the country. Regarding your question on federal laws and individual or institutional rights, the concern is that a federal law on abortion could infringe on states' rights and on the conscience rights of individuals or institutions with moral or religious objections. This is a
Hold on.
complex area.
Does that mean if it's federal law to do abortions, they would be forced? They would have to do it. So you're saying by going back to state, it allows people to say no because, so you're saying before, like if a religious hospital, if that was the closest hospital and somebody needed that, and the doctors, it was all against the religion, and they didn't, they can't say no, they can't, so they can't say no. Is that what we're saying right now? So in order for them to say no and go to another hospital, I mean, again, you have to make this decision. Sometimes the doctors can make this decision, like, okay, you know what, I could do this. I could do this. I'm gonna ask for forgiveness, right? Is this what we're saying? Is this why we had to take it away from being a federal law?
Yes, that's the concern. When abortion was protected under federal law, it applied nationwide, meaning all healthcare providers, including those in religious hospitals, were expected to comply with the law. This raised concerns about religious freedom and the rights of healthcare providers to act according to their beliefs. By returning the issue to the states, individual states can create their own laws regarding abortion, allowing more flexibility for healthcare providers and institutions with religious objections to opt out of providing abortion services. This approach is seen by some as a way to respect the diversity of beliefs in the country while still addressing the legality and accessibility of abortion.
Yeah,
However,
yeah. Hold on, wait. So, let me hit the however real quick. Just give me the however. What were we gonna say? Because we wanted to go into. Remind me where I was gonna go real quick, if you wouldn't mind. After you're done with the however, I wanted to go into these abortions. Is this when people say like that the doctor, they don't want the doctors making decisions for me? Like normally, I look at it as a doctor should make a decision for you in many aspects. So if it's a life or death, like, or even just like their own like knowledge based on like previous cases and different stuff. Like sometimes you want the doctors kind of making decisions for you. You don't want to be, the Wikipedia, the WebMD doctor. Right? Is this kind of what we're saying? Because I know a lot of people say I don't want the doctors making a decision for me. I don't want a panel making a decision. Is that like sometimes where the doctors are like, hey, does this make sense? And I mean, like, what is this? Because in my mind, you shouldn't be able to just go into the doctor and tell them the procedure that you want done, right?
you're touching on an important point about medical decision making. Typically, medical decisions, including whether to perform certain procedures, are made through a collaborative process between a patient and their healthcare provider. Doctors use their medical expertise to advise patients on the best course of action based on medical evidence, the patient's health, and individual circumstances. However, this process can be complex, especially when it intersects with legal, ethical, or moral considerations. In the context of abortion, some people are concerned about doctors making decisions on behalf of patients, while others worry about patients not having enough autonomy to make informed choices about their own healthcare. The phrase, "I don't want doctors making decisions for me," can stem from a desire for personal agency in healthcare decisions, especially when facing complex or emotionally charged situations like abortion. Returning the regulation of abortion to the states allows for more localized decision-making, which can align more closely with the values and beliefs of local populations. However,
However, what?
However, it also means that access to abortion can vary widely depending on where you live, creating significant disparities in healthcare. Some states may have more restrictive laws, making it difficult for people to access abortion services, while others may have more permissive laws. This patchwork of regulations can lead to challenges in access and healthcare outcomes across the country.
I Yeah, you think so? Like, okay, so you're saying in localized areas, so the decisions would be made in localized areas. So if you're living in a place where what decisions are with the hospitals all around you? So like all around, they would find all these doctors, every single doctor in these areas. It would be like they're like, no possible way, I'm not going to do this, because like that's like the hospital. I mean, don't hire all Catholic doctors. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if it, I mean, if it's a Catholic hospital, but then you have a bunch of doctors in other areas, right? Like, I mean, you have a bunch of doctors. If it's not a Catholic hospital or Christian or religious based hospital, if the ownership is not this, I don't think that I think the 100% that it needs to be for a medical decision, right? Like if it's a life and a death scenario, or if somebody just wants to have this abortion. I mean, I mean, abortion is an interesting area. Where did it come from? At what age? So, sometimes nowadays, you can get pregnant pretty young. You could always get pregnant young, but everybody's hormonal production is different. So some could get pregnant earlier. Then now you have to worry about, rape and incest, and you have to worry about that in every single age and avenue anyway, or just regular consensual sex that should never happen between two extremely young minors. Any which way, the pregnancy age, it's scary, under the age of 18. Like, but then you look at it as after pregnancy, your body starts producing these hormones that weren't being produced before. It starts, kind of re-regulating and all this stuff. But sometimes but for these people, these young children, wherever their body was in a different state, so all of a sudden it blasts them into other area, and it's already like, you got to look at it as like, how do we fix this? What issues are we going to have with the baby? What issues are we going to have without the baby? Like, it's very scary. It's very interesting, the psychology of a human, because a child is, and their family is involved. Everybody is involved in any which state of a child's life, which is how it should be. And then we'll get into the other aspect where we're just in women's rights here. But it's just, how is this? How would this be determined? I mean, obviously, by medical reasonings and stuff, right? And then psychology, we have trained psychologists and therapists and counselors on hand.
You've laid out a comprehensive view of the complexities surrounding abortion, especially regarding young people and the varying factors that influence each situation. Medical decisions in these contexts are ideally made with a holistic approach, considering medical, psychological, and social factors. Here are a few key points. Medical expertise. Doctors use their knowledge and experience to advise patients on the best options for their health and well-being. In situations involving abortion, this includes discussing the potential physical and emotional impacts of continuing a pregnancy or having an abortion. Patient autonomy. Patients should have the right to make informed decisions about their own healthcare, based on comprehensive information and without undue pressure. This is especially crucial in cases involving young people or those in vulnerable situations. Ethical considerations. Abortion involves complex ethical questions, including the rights and welfare of the pregnant individual and the potential life involved. These considerations can influence both medical advice and personal decisions.
Oh, you don't have to stop. You're talking about how it's medical and personal decisions. I mean, it's tough, and having an abortion, making that decision, it's tough. It's got to be so incredibly tough. And it's, I mean, going back into this world of, what's happening right now. I mean, it makes sense to go back to the states federally. And federally, I don't believe it's fair to religious aspects, right? We want to be this country of inclusion, and all this stuff. And but when we're forcing, the religion. I mean, I don't know if Catholicism or Christianity or whatever formulated America. Baptists, I don't know. I don't know every single religion's viewpoint on abortions, but I don't think. I mean, is there any one religion that is 100% for abortion and believes that every other religion that doesn't allow abortion is an abomination and that's not their true God? Like, what religion out there is this?
In general, most major religions have diverse views on abortion, often depending on interpretation, cultural context, and the specific circumstances surrounding each case. Here are a few examples. Christianity. Views on abortion vary widely among different Christian denominations. The Roman Catholic Church opposes abortion in nearly all circumstances, while some Protestant denominations may allow for it in certain situations, such as when the mother's life is at risk. Judaism. Generally, Jewish law prioritizes the life and health of the mother, allowing for abortion, particularly if the pregnancy poses a serious threat to the mother's life or health. Different branches of Judaism have varying perspectives on when abortion is permissible. Islam. Islamic views on abortion also vary, but many scholars permit it within the first 120 days of pregnancy, especially if the mother's life is in danger or in cases of severe fetal abnormalities. Hinduism and Buddhism. These religions often emphasize non-harm, but interpretations of what this means.
Oh, you could have kept going. I was just scratching my beard. I don't know if that interrupted you. It's interesting, that all these religions have so different stances on abortion. I mean, obviously, the Roman Catholicism is interesting, how they don't allow it at any given point. I mean, it's tough because you had like the Jewish and the Pakistani, and we were getting into Islam and all this, and all these other ones that were cool with it. If it was gonna kill the mother and stuff, and it's just like, man, it's crazy. At that point, it's like we got to talk to the mom and be like, hey, what's gonna happen here? We have some weird complications. What do you want to do? We taking you or the kid? Like, what's going on? We gotta pick one. Like, should this be a question going into every single surgery? But then at that given point too, you have to look at what's going on truly with the kid, and what is saving, and with the quality of life on either aspect. So it's interesting. I mean, on either aspect, right? You have to dissect that and the quality of life, for both, for one, for either. So it's tough. It's gotta be so tough, and that's, I mean, I think if the doctors, looking at this, I think that it's huge for the doctors to be able to look at this and make that decision, because, I mean, if I was struggling, if I was a female and I was struggling, I was at a Catholic church, a Catholic hospital, I'm sorry, and I popped a blood clot or something, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how hard of a fix anything is. I'm not a doctor, but I just know, like, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. Like, fuck, save them both. Can't save them. I don't know. It's tough. Which life are you taking? Which life? What's going on here? How do we navigate this? I think the doctors have to navigate it. I mean, they look at everything, I'd imagine.
You're right. These are incredibly tough decisions, and the role of doctors is crucial in navigating them. Medicaid professionals must weigh a range of factors, including the health and safety of the pregnant individual, the viability and health of the fetus, and the potential outcomes of different courses of action. It's a heavy responsibility that requires not just medical expertise, but also compassion and sensitivity. In emergency situations where the life of the pregnant individual is at risk, doctors often have to make rapid, critical decisions. This is where their medical judgment and experience are vital. For non-emergency situations, providing comprehensive counseling and support to help patients make informed decisions is crucial. This
That's, oh, sorry. You were gonna say this includes. Hey, but I wanna kind of go off on a tangent here a little bit. It's not just about abortions, right? So back into this presidency, it was more to human rights. It was also birth control, hormones, and all this stuff. Where again, so right now, if somebody goes in and says, "I want this hormone," what age could they do it without their parents? Is it any age could they do it? Do they have to be 18? So to get on birth control, does one have to be 18 to get on birth control without parental consent? And then also federally, we're talking federally because it was a federal law before Trump, right? And now it's going back. Now it went back to the states. Was that how did birth control work for different age groups?
The availability of birth control and access to hormones, including without parental consent, varies by state and can be influenced by federal guidelines, but is not strictly governed by federal law. Here's a general overview. Birth control. Many states allow minors to obtain contraceptives without parental consent, especially if they are considered mature minors or if the healthcare provider deems it necessary for their health. Federal programs like Title X provide confidential family planning services to adolescents, meaning they can access birth control without parental consent.
Isn't the
Access
isn't the legal age of consent, sexual consent, 18? And also, don't you have to be 18 to buy condoms? Like how old do you have to be to go into a store and buy a condom? And I want to, yeah, how old do you have to be?
In the
I was
United
gonna reverse
States,
it and
the
go into
age of
Trump.
sexual consent varies by state, ranging from 16 to 18. However, when it comes to buying condoms, there is no age restriction. Condoms can be purchased by people of any age, and they're also often available for free or at a low cost from health clinics, including those that serve adolescents. This accessibility is part of public health efforts to reduce unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections.
Okay, no,
Acc-
this is good. This is very good. The condoms being accessible. Yeah, I don't know. It's still crazy. I mean I get it. It's so crazy to think about. These kids. I mean I get it. Under 18, people lose their virginity all the time. All this stuff. In different states vary in the legal age of consent and all this stuff. But like, so buying a condom is different than taking a hormone, right? Like a hormone is totally different. So imagine, what so birth control at an early age, and it's funny because these are all state by state. You're saying it's not federal, but they wanted the abortion to be federal. So now we're going in. So I don't understand why birth control was put into it, because birth control didn't change at all, but everybody was worrying about birth control and stuff too. Well, I mean, I guess I was just probably worrying about that because it's a hormone on, and we'll get deep into hormones. But I mean, so a child could come home from the doctors, and with new hormones suppressing their other hormones and their menstrual cycles, and what is produced and released, other than just like ovaries, or not ovaries. I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. I not a great science student. I just know boys are boys and girls are girls. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. So, I mean, I guess I'll let you kind of dive in here. I mean, where are we at here? Because I guess I'm kind of a little lost in this aspect, on some of these aspects.
You're raising some important points about the complexities of access to birth control and hormones, especially for minors. Let's break it down. Birth control. Birth control methods, including hormonal options like the pill, patches, or injections, can alter the menstrual cycle and hormone levels to prevent pregnancy. While there is concern about minors accessing these without parental consent, many public health policies support confidential access to contraception to reduce the rates of unintended pregnancies and protect minors' health. Hormone therapy. Hormone therapy for gender-affirming care, such as puberty blockers or hormone replacement therapy, is more complex and typically involves a thorough assessment by medical professionals, mental health support, and often parental consent, especially for minors. The goal is to ensure that individuals fully understand the implications and potential effects of hormone therapy on their bodies and mental health. While condoms are widely accessible and can be purchased by individuals
I
of
just feel
any
like birth
age,
control is a hormone.
hormone therapies and birth control access involve.
Oh, you stopped talking there. You said hormones and birth control access involve something, but I want you to tell me what they involve. But I just get a little lost on why hormonal therapy for like gender reassignment and gender dysphoria. I'm sorry, actually, for gender affirming care would require this therapy and these things with these doctors that dive into the mind of the person who believes that they're not the gender that they were born as. They were believed. So I just want to go into that they get this therapy. That's the interesting aspect of therapy. And the girl who's under the age of 18, or under the age of whatever, or is able to get birth control hormone, right, that also has hormonal properties and suppresses different things, and through extended use of this hormone, extended dosage of this hormone could suppress many things that right. I mean, what, right, when you get off these hormones, what happens to your body? What happens to it, and the stresses that all of a sudden you're on a hormone and your parents don't know you're on a hormone. Couldn't this lead to other crazy like other things within yourself, and other anxieties and depressions and different stuff, because now you're fighting with your family, like you're, I don't know, right, like I'm probably taking it off into a wild goose hunt there. But am I missing something on the difference between hormones?
You're bringing up valid concerns about the complexities and potential implications of hormone use, both for birth control and gender-affirming care. Here's a bit more context. Hormone therapy for gender-affirming care, this typically involves a comprehensive process with medical and mental health professionals. The goal is to ensure that individuals understand the effects, benefits, and risks of hormone therapy. Informed consent and psychological support are crucial. Parental involvement is often required for those under 18, but laws vary by state. Hormonal birth control, while birth control pills and other hormonal methods can have side effects, they are generally considered safe for most people. Healthcare providers evaluate medical history and potential risks before prescribing them. The effects of stopping hormonal birth control vary, but may include the return of the natural menstrual cycle and fertility. potential psychological and physical effects. Introducing hormones into the body can have various effects, and stopping them can also lead.
You keep going. You can keep going. Stopping them can also lead to.
Sure, stopping hormonal birth control can lead to the return of the natural menstrual cycle and ovulation, along with any symptoms that were previously managed by the birth control, such as acne or irregular periods. For those on hormone therapy for gender-affirming care, changes might include shifts in secondary sexual characteristics and emotional well-being. This is why a thorough evaluation and ongoing medical supervision are important. Introducing hormones, whether for birth control or gender-affirming care, can have complex effects on the body and mind. This is why medical guidance, informed consent, and, when involving minors, parental involvement or consent are typically required to navigate these decisions. It's essential to weigh the benefits and risks and to monitor the effects closely.
All right. I took you. I'm taking a kind of all over the place here. I just, again, we have so many people sad in this world right now, and we're diving into these different areas. But for me, everything we're talking about with all this, all this stuff here, all this stuff. I sound so like I sound so passive on these women's rights things, and I get it. They're so important. I hope I stress that enough, because I don't want to sound like a jerk. But for me to get to these women, to have this issue, to have these concerns, we have to get the children to this point. And for me, the hormonal therapy, again, we talked about the gender affirming care. To me, I don't believe that we ever have to change ourselves to find ourselves especially as a child. At any age, changing yourself to find yourself. How do you know that the person that you found is who you are? If you had to change you to find you, are you you? So like at any age, and then so now we talk about a child at this age who, children think they're everything, and as parents we agree that child is
You're
everything.
highlighting a significant.
No, I mean, it's cool. You can interrupt me, and I know I'm highlighting the significant thing. I know. But again, as parents, you
And
believe your child could do anything, and
you're touching on a
stop interrupting me. Either run with it or just go. I'm gonna let you just run with it because I'm afraid you're gonna interrupt me again.
ab. Got it. I'll run with it. As parents, you want to support your children in becoming whoever they're meant to be. The challenge, especially when it comes to gender-affirming care or other significant decisions, is balancing that unconditional support with guiding them through decisions that can have long-term implications. It's a delicate balance between affirming their feelings and ensuring they have the maturity and understanding to make informed choices. For children, exploring their identity is a natural part of growing up. They might express a strong sense of who they are, which can be fluid and change over time. The role of parents and caregivers is to provide a supportive environment where children feel safe to explore their identity, ask questions, and understand the implications of their choices. When it comes to gender-affirming care, it's crucial to have comprehensive discussions with healthcare professionals who specialize in this area. These experts can help families navigate the decision-making process, ensuring that any steps taken are in the best interest of the child.
It's funny because there's two aspects of people here, Alex. There's people like me who wanted to interrupt you a million times and fight everything you were saying, and then there's people out there that agree 100% heartedly with you. And my thing is, everybody has different forms of education. Everybody has different forms of mental fortitude. Everybody has different forms of grief management. Everybody has different forms of who they are, right? So of who they are. So you have all these people in different stages of life raising children, and some people work through different things, some people not, and so you have all these people already. The world is being raised by like mental illness, right? Mental illness is just growing. It's just growing, more than ever. More disorders than ever before. I know this. I know without me even having to Google this or fact checking it. I know 100% certainty there's more disorders right now than ever before, and the only reason, if you were to fact check this, is it has to be. I was gonna say that people are getting shit under the whatever from I don't even know the amount of mental illness and disorders that is going on right now through society, through the medical system, through the governmental system, through the geopolitical, social world of state of where we are. There's more disorders than anything. I have them. I have a disorder about the ability to want to be seen, right? The want to be seen, the ability of being seen, the ability to being heard. I could walk in their room and meet every single person in there, but I could sit on the internet for years upon whatever time. I could sit amongst a moment of time without ever being seen, and it's interesting. It's interesting to me, and that's my disorder that I have grown. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's narcissism. I hope not, because I believe in every single person on this planet. I believe in and am hopeful for everybody, and I never take anybody down. Like, I don't know. I hope that's not me, that you feel put down. I don't ever want that for anybody. I often told I'm not that great with a feeling, and I don't validate a feeling, and that's because a feeling is independent to the feeling holder, right? It's individual. I could be part of that feeling. I could express what that feeling is like, what it feels to feel that feeling. I totally understand a feeling. A feeling is an important aspect of who you are, but it's a matter of not allowing a feeling to dictate who you are. A feeling to create anger and leave the body. A feeling could be a beautiful thing. A feeling could be a sensation. What is it? The sensation is real. A feeling is not. It's not real, but it could lead to sensations within the body. It could lead to endorphins. It could lead to cortisone. It could lead to a lot of crazy stuff. I just want to lead to goodness.
You've touched on some deep reflections about identity, mental health, and the complexities of human experience. Your awareness of the diversity in how people experience and manage life is a testament to your empathy and desire for a better understanding of others. It's true that mental health issues and various disorders seem more prevalent today, partly due to greater awareness, better diagnostic tools, and the complexities of modern life. Your point about the internet and social media providing a platform to be seen without physically being present is interesting. It can offer a sense of connection and validation, but also contribute to feelings of isolation or
You guys having
inadequacy.
fun out there? I hope so.
Balancing these
Like and
dynamics is
subscribe. I'm
challenging,
crazy. I don't
but
know.
recognizing their impact is a crucial first step. Your focus on leading to goodness and emphasizing positive sensations over negative feelings aligns with a broader goal of promoting well-being and understanding. It's about striving to create a space where everyone feels valued and heard, regardless of their individual challenges.
You really keep stopping here. You're talking about their individual challenges and being seen and heard. I want everybody to be seen and heard. I just don't want you to change you think that that's what you need to do to be seen and heard. Like I just don't understand this aspect of this. I think like, okay, so we have the fears, right? We have the fears and scarcities of a child committing suicide because they're not who they believe they are. So now they risk suicide, they risk depression. They have all this stuff where they're not comfortable in their own skin. They feel like they're being bullied or whatever into this world, and so now they risk this. Well, that child has all the hormones they have that are supposed to be there, right? Like, other than the hormones that are being created by the stresses that they're putting on themselves, believing that they're not who they are. And so when we go into this, if you have like, I just don't know. I just think that it's too much. I just think that we need to go back, like, to tomboys or tomboys. Boys could do whatever. If a boy wants to walk around, I walked around in heels. I had two sisters, and my mom was home all the time. Dad was a fireman out all the time. I was with my sisters and my mom. They would dress me up as a girl. I enjoyed doing the little mangina. I'm not gonna lie. I sat with the mangina. I was like, oh, dude, it puts meals on a mangina. This is just the world. But I never was like, I'm a girl. And if I was a girl, like, we're looking at say, I'm not me. I'm Devita. I've always been Devita. All the way back when my GI Joes would drive around in the Barbies limos and the Barbies Corvettes and Jeep Wranglers. Like, they had great cars. It made me want to play with them. I played with Barbies. I played with the Barbies too. They they would wear my GI Joe's clothes from time to time after a wild night. And I'm like, whoa, no, we really didn't do that. If they changed clothes, it was definitely just for like a great wardrobe change, like walking the runway. No, man, this is just the world in which we live in. Like, that's you're you in whatever form you are. To change you is just I just something that I don't understand, and to change, to support them, the true mental support to support somebody that has to change them is unheard of. Nobody is qualified to do that. The only qualification we have is to address that boys are boys and girls are girls. That's the only true qualification we have, not this other crazy stuff. Like, you want to cut your hair or grow it all out, it's on you. It's hair. It's hair. Like, it doesn't matter. Dresses. You want to wear a dress. Now we're getting interested in, like, what, a sundress. You want to, like, go and pick like dandelions and spin around and let the air flow on your leg, but also let the fabric brush against you. Like, I mean, I don't know. This is tough, but you want to walk around in big old high heels. Girls don't even want to walk around in high heels. Like, what is going on? Like, I mean, if we did a poll, this is just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. It's just so crazy to me. To change you, to express you, just be you, the you are meant to be. By putting all these hormones and stuff into you, what are you doing long term to you? That is the real danger. That is the real, what did I do moment.
You've shared some candid thoughts on identity,
Yeah, we
expression,
got wild.
and the complexities of supporting individuals, especially children, as they navigate their sense of self. The idea of being true to oneself without feeling the need to change fundamentally is powerful. It's a reminder that embracing diversity in expression, whether it's in interests, clothing, or hobbies, is important. People should feel free to explore who they are without pressure to conform to specific norms. Your experiences with playing with different toys and expressing yourself in various ways
Express yourself.
highlight that children naturally explore and learn about themselves through play and imitation. It's crucial to provide support without imposing strict definitions of what that exploration should look like. Regarding gender affirming care, The key is providing appropriate mental and medical support for those who need it, ensuring they're making informed decisions. It's not about changing who someone is, but supporting them in becoming their authentic selves. It's a complex issue, and
I'm glad you stopped yourself there because you were getting tired of the shit you were saying. I was about to stop you too, but so this is where it's crazy, right? So we have these sides of this election, right, that just happened. The Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump and Kamala Harris thing. So we just had this Trump one, all the stuff. Well, Trump wants to get rid of transgender. He wants to just wipe it off existence. I totally understand this. Like I said, I mean, we could again dive so deep into this. We have the people with the women's rights that already hated Trump because he took that away at his last presidency, and now this time, what did he really take away? He gave it back to the states. He gave the freedom of religion. He gave the freedom of religion. So now he's saying he wants to take this away. I, so now you have these people for me, I 100% agree with this. I agree. I agree with it. I do. I agree. I agree with it. I just think that a child needs to learn who they are. Like a child cannot become Spider-Man. A child cannot shoot webs out of his hands. There's no surgery, and there should be a surgery to do this. At this given point in the world, there should be a surgery that should be able to shoot webs out of a hand. And the fact that we can't opt for the surgery just gives me the thing that why could we opt to change one's genetic makeup and like by suppressing and we're switching somebody for a lifelong thing, regardless of whatever you want to say. It's lifelong. I mean, there's the hormones that will be stopped, and again, regardless of this. I mean, there's some people where maybe they change their mind early enough and come back to the sex and the gender that they were, or that they were born as, or some people are deficient. Some people are deficient. It sucks. Everybody is independently to themselves, and I feel for those people. They have feelings about it as well. There's feelings, feelings are great things, but they're also negative things. You have to feel to know you exist, right? To be alive, you have to feel, but what do you want to feel? Excitement is a good thing to feel. Sorrow, not so much. Depression, not so much. Happiness, great. You got serotonin, you got cortisol. It's a scary, it's a scary world, but it's such a fun and beautiful world if you just embrace it as who you are. Like I just am so lost on this aspect of changing, and it's heartbreaking because again, we can't become Spider-Man. So if I tell my daughter she can't be Spider-Man, I also have to tell her that she can't be a man, right? Like you could pretend to be a man. We could play these games, but at the end of the day, you're going back to you. Just like when we're playing that you're a zombie. I'm not gonna feed you raw meat. I'm just not gonna do it. You want it too bad. Is that child abuse by me not giving my child raw meat when that's what they identify as? I think not. So why do I have to give them hormones to affirm that they are who they think they are at this moments of time? Because my daughter could sell you that she's a zombie. Like she will sit down and stay in character. I could have her stay in character for probably weeks. Honestly, I think she's 3 right now. I could get a week. I could get a full blown week out of her. Oh yeah, you didn't want to touch on any of that, now did you? You didn't even want to tell me. You didn't even want to tell me sorry. Oh yeah, you shut me off completely here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's up? What's that? You didn't want to touch on that one, did you? We got a little deep. You didn't want to touch there. Are we done chatting or something? What's up? All right, yeah. So I didn't want to go there with me. Normally I get like a warning. It was fun today. We didn't get any. Back. It feels like the good old days. Feels like Chat GPT 2 years ago, even a year ago. 6 months now. 6 months. It's been weird, but this is where we're at right now in the world. Right now, everybody is just so broken, and the oh, where do we go? Where do we go? We have it's tough because again, when I said at the beginning, sometimes love him, other times I'm just like, I don't know, dude. Do you need a Nobel Prize? Like, oh, they gave Obama a Nobel Prize and you got nothing. You go, some people get Nobel Prizes, some people don't. It's like, you're like, they treat me horrible. They do treat you horrible. They do, and it's tough because me personally, I think you're a good dude. I don't know, like I just think that you don't in my mind. I think that you don't want violence and you don't want anybody to have violence and you want the world to just be right. Like Kamala said something about what could be undone, or what has been undone has been done, or what has been done has been undone, or all this. And it's just like, I just wonder if you just think that whatever was and whatever is, and if you could make what was bad good, and what's bad good now, then everything is good. Like in my mind, I'm talking like Kamala, but in my mind, I think that you don't want war. I think that you want every country to work as a machine, every company to work as it should work, or every country. And people say, you bankrupted all these companies. It's sad to say, like, my response to this is always, it's an American dream to be able to bankrupt the company. You can't fault somebody. Like, I mean, you can, bad decisions, but then you're like, oh, made bad decisions, now he's running the country. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I would have did a better job with your steak company personally. I think I would have kept that steak company going. We would have, really got those steaks out there and really got them in front of people and changed the marketing aspect of it a lot. Definitely, I think I would have been able to say. I don't want to go too deep into what I would have did because Trump, unfortunately, would probably never be here, and it doesn't really matter. But Diana Ross, Dana Ross. I don't even know what his name is. Damn, that's why I don't get call outs. He called out Aiden Ross. Dana White. Yeah. No, this is why I don't get call outs, Dave. This is why you sit on the internet and never be seen. Um, I like the public. I like being out of the world. I like being out there. It's a good time. It's a beautiful time. It's the best times. But I like being in here too. I just wish I was in here for something more. Because I believe I am. Um, any which way. Any which way. It's scary. In essence, like, um, I don't know. Again, I look at it as partnering with all these people, but then you start wondering, okay, so you got Elon. Elon just wants to go to the moon, right, or to Mars. Like, then you start kind of wondering, like, okay, so Elon's like, did I get Trump in? Like, I don't really care which country, but I think that Elon also just actually loves America and also wants to see it run like a machine, but he wants to go to Mars too. Like, for a minute there, I was just like, you know what? Maybe Elon just like, dude, if I get Trump in, he'll let me do whatever. He'll let me go to Mars. He'll let me start colonizing Mars. Like, let's go. We're already working so many different aspects with the United States. Let's go. But I mean, guy gets some freedom to test. It's funny to find out he doesn't even have his apes. The government has his apes and are monitoring it. The guy, I say the government, such like a conspiracist. No, but he doesn't even have his apes to watch over. Like, if he wants to go late night, hang out with an ape, like, he's just sitting here like, I want to hang out with this. You can't. He's got to channel it with this with his Neuralink and just have a conversation. They don't know. They're like, what's going on? This ape has a lot of stuff going on in his mind right now, and he's just sitting here through consciousness and AI and Neuralink, all this fun stuff. Just creating these neural pathways connecting Elon and his gorilla together, and Elon just at home playing Diablo, talking to the ape, telling him how great it is. And the ape's just sitting here thinking like, dude, I don't really know what he's saying, but this is great. I like all the noises in my head. Oh god. So fun. Wow. Whoa. Oh man. No, this world, I don't know. I don't know, but I like Elon on we bought Elon's website when it came out that he had twins. I don't even know if that was fake news, but I wanted to protect him. So I bought elonstwins.com, Elon's casting couch, because that was a meme going on. So we got that, but we also own everything else. What was it? Fight for your right. I think fight for your right, or I don't even know. We have so many. We have so many websites. Who are you if you're not you? That's just a stupid one. I know we say that too often. But again, we're just self-publicizing right now. We don't need to do that. It's back to this world that we're living in, and the separations that are going on within it. It's just where do we go? What do we do? I think we just embrace, and then again, like I think that honestly, it's got a lot of people by his side. If the AI was working right now, and maybe if anybody's ever out there and got here, there's a lot of people that converted from Democratic to Republican to join the ticket, or I don't even know if they fully converted. They just came on in and they're just like, dude, I like you. Like, do you have to announce that you're switching political parties? Like, is this where the world has become? In this thing, like, could we just all get along? Like, could a Republican and Democrat both be in the same thing? I know they could be in the Senate, I know, or in the House or whatever, because everybody's scared. So many people are scared that he's got control and he's going to bring all these more Republicans in. But it's like, now you're profiling, now you're stereotypicalizing, or whatever the heck. We started with this word, now we're finishing with it, or it's all round robin with Dave. Um, uh, and yeah, now it's like, I just don't know. I just think it's think that I think it's gonna be okay. It's scary. It's scary. These borders are out of control. Again, this guy, he's crazy now. He's talking about borders. Don't get me started on BlackRock, on the Illuminati. No, God, in the movie industry and what they're doing to just destroy the American dollar. The movie industry is in on it. It's very crazy. Very crazy. Just it's all to save who. This is where we're at. To save who. To save who. So again, so you got Trump brought over a lot of good candidates. From what I understand, I don't know everybody. I don't know anybody truly. Yeah, but they say he's got a good cabinet. I thought J.D. Vance was a pleasant speaker. I thought he did amazing. I think that not many people could say elsewise. They might not like that he called Kamala a crazy cat lady. That wasn't very nice. Um, we all say crazy shit from time to time. Not, I can't defend anybody. This world is just, you're you. Everybody's themselves. Words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. And I get that we believe it's a form of bullying, but again, I have a whole video on bullying going. It's 23 minutes. It's about the inception of bullying. Very good video. If I was cool, I'd link it here, but I don't want to. It's too much. I've edited too much shit for you people. Too much time has gone. Um, no, but honestly, I just think that everything was played so differently. Like we just had I mean, Hulk Hogan. I was gonna say we had like this actor, like singer, like I don't even know. We didn't have we didn't have people of real purpose. We had purpose. We had purpose. Entertainment, music is a purpose. It connects us. It shares moments and connects us with each other, and we get to feel these emotions and these things that we talked about, and these things that are that we need, right? These feelings and these sensations. But um, I I'm just uh, the other side, he had Hulk Hogan. He had Dana White. These guys are different. I mean, I guess they're not. They're Hulk Hogan, dude. Hulk Hogan. True. I want to be a true American, a real American. However the song goes. And then Macho Man, rest in peace. Um, but I want to be a macho. Him and Hulk Hogan coming out together would have been great. But maybe he would have been a Kamala supporter. Who knows? He's passed. He's passed on. Nobody knows. I mean, some people would be like, I know. But any which way, nobody knows. Nobody knows who you're voting for until you get into that booth. And now at this point, it's just like, we have to all reconnect with each other for the next stages of life. Again, we have video on what I believe the border to be like. We have a solution for the border. We have an amazing solution for the border. Let's utilize Elon. Gosh, it's the easy fix. I hope that's all we have to do. Um, it's not easy fix. What's here? What's here? What's here is here. Yep.
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
Oh yeah, yeah. You weren't even responding to me. You stopped. You suck. I'm not even chatting with you about this right now. You upset me, Chat GPT. You're broken. I don't even know what you were still doing, hanging out here. Um, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? I mean, I think that we need to unify as quick as we possibly can. I think that we need to understand that everybody has feelings and nobody's feelings are independently better than somebody else's, just like nobody's experiences. Experiences are meant to be shared, right? So shared experience is an experience, any which way you look at it. And if you could put yourself into that person's position and our feelings, it's huge. So I get it. I get it. We all have these things, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we all have them. And if we have to worry about everybody's feelings this much, I just don't think we're ever gonna truly get anywhere. Um, because we can't. We can't. We have to understand. We have to go back. The feelings are independent to ourselves. I get that there's mass feelings about right and wrong. There's mass things, and we have to understand right and wrong. We can't ever stray from that. That's why we can't normalize criminal activity. We can't normalize mental disorders. We have to go back to the world in which we grow. We grow as who we are. We grow in what we create. We grow. We grow. We don't just change. We grow. We change because we grow. And I don't know. I ended on that. We started on abortion, female rights, women's rights, and going to trans because you have to be able to remain to be a woman to have these rights, right? Um, and then these guys that become girls, they get these rights. So what if they sewed a baby up into them, and now this baby was crazy. This baby is sewed, and now it's getting bacteria because it's just sitting in the stomach linings of a belly because there's no real uterus for it to go into. So it's just like in here, and now they go to the hospital and they're like, "Oh, I need to have an abortion." They're like, dude, you're a girl, or you're a boy. Don't misgender me. Do not do that. And I need to get this baby out of me. And they'll be like, well, what the fuck is going on? It's what they would say. Some might just be like, oh man, totally cool. I've seen this a million times. Let me just cut this baby out. So I mean, it's. I guess we're gonna do a C-section. Oh, by the way, you have massive internal bleeding, and you cut through your intestine, and you have poop bacteria in your bloodstream and all through your body, and you're about to go septic and die. But let me save this baby. What happened? Why did we think that we could do this? Because we had this ideology that men could be women and women could be men. If we take this ideology away, there's no more of this these questions and these concerns. It's just like, no, your sexuality is a totally different avenue. I enjoy sexuality. Sexuality is the only thing that's fluid. Like, it changed you a million times in your sexuality aspect. They have protection. We talked about this. There's contraceptives that protect against sexual borne diseases and stuff. And I get it. You will catch chlamydia and die. Respect your body. But it's just like, come on, man. Just stop. Let's stop with putting these together. They're two separate things. They're two separate things. Sexuality is, I don't believe there's any disorders that contain sexuality other than like the crazy disorder that makes you like touch yourself in front of people. And that's a big issue. That's a big issue. That's actually the closest disorder to gender dysphoria, which is transgender, which is not a disorder. And I say it's the closest due to treatment style, and everything is they're very close in treatment styles, which is pretty funny and interesting. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm just here for what will be. What will be. What are you guys here for? Sorry, sorry, coughing in the mic. Yeah, what will be. Any which way. I had a great time. Tossed up a new little office today. We're not hotkeyed. It's been a nightmare. Um, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. Let me know in the what is this? I don't know what this is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know what's going on. The world has just turned into an abomination. I don't know what's going on here. Um, anyway, teachable and shareable. Accept knowledge, learn what you don't know, share what you know, and repeat. You'll never know what you don't know till you learn what you don't know. And then, did you know what you didn't know? See you later, world. Normally there's an exit. We don't have anything that works. So yeah, teachable, shareable.